an inch seam. If you take a half an inch, it's not, it has to be a fourth of an inch. Otherwise, it won't fit into the sleeve part because the cuff is going to end up too small. Okay? So if you took more than a quarter, you have to do it over. Now we're going to grate the seam and we're going to notch it. So in the beginning, we're going to trim these little guys. And then as far as notching, oh my God, my nose is itching. We're just going to do the notching around the curve. You don't have to do the whole thing, just the curve. So, because when we turn this, see when we take this here, and when you push this in, see when you look into this, see what you see? What do you see? A mess.
Bunch of extras.
Right? Look at all that stuff in there. See that? Mm-hmm. And then when you press that down, you got all these big puffy little things. You want it to be flat, you know, so you have to get rid of what's too much. So right now, and don't cut the seam, but you're just going to take out these little corners. And it's called notching. And this is another important thing. You can use my little, everybody should really have a small and a bigger. But when you use this and you use the back of it, please don't. This is so dangerous. You have to work with the tip of the scissor. Because if you, by accident, move a little bit too hard, you cut right into them. That's why, you really need one that you work with, that's always on your machine. Because these should just be for cutting out, big pieces. And like I said, don't get close to the seam, but not so close that you're going to cut it. Now, after we notch these curves, now I'm going to show you pressing, sew and press. That's the one you got to put on your forehead, carry around with you. Sew and press, sew and press. I have a bad joke, but
shoot.
What's going to be on my gravestone?
Uh-oh.
Here's Mrs. O'Shea. One more question. One more question?
One more question.
I wish I had students that would do that now, but they used to. One more question. That was my middle name. Okay. All right. So we got these nicely notched in here. Because of the tiny little stitch in here, we can go within about a 1/16 of an inch. We can bring it in really close, but you kind of bring it in on a long slant. Now remember what I told you about seam allowance. This is all that you need to remember. What happened to that pencil? Oh, here it is. The measurement in here cannot be less than what you got. See, these seam allowances, when you turn them, they cannot be greater than what the measurement is that you got left. See? Because the seam allowance, if you add this up, cannot be greater than what your distance is in this corner. Because otherwise, it's going to bundle up in there. All right, now I'm going to show you how to press this. There's an easy way and then there's a hard way, of course. The hard way is always the one where you get stubborn and you want to do it your way. Okay, also on the bottom of your seams, you always want to grate these too. Okay, all right, follow me to the iron board. Where's my pointer? Okay. this is your tailor board, and this little wooden board is for seams, for small seams. You know, that are hard to get to. Now, I was telling my class earlier, you probably don't have that at home, but you can be, you can be creative. I was thinking, these wooden spoons that you have for steering. Anybody has wooden spoons? Or, they're kind of nice and thick. You can put that inside and use it like a pressing tool as far as you can go. The idea is when you turn this, when you turn this inside out, see this little tuck here? You cannot have a tuck there. It has to be flat. Like if you press it like this, you see how you get a little pleat there? You cannot have that. See, these things you cannot have pleats in them. They have to be flat. So you have to find a way. These things, you can buy them. They're around 25 or something. Joann's has them. Hobby Lobby, maybe, I don't know. You're going to press these little seams open. You can also finger press them. That helps too. It's kind of like a head start, and it's foolproof. It's foolproof because once you get these seams pressed open, it just falls in place. It just falls in place, and it's going to be really nice. See, you can also have one made, Mrs. what's her name, McGowan? Nina. Her husband does them. He did these for us for nothing. But of course, if you order one, he probably charges you something. I mean, I think the school paid him something for it, but because we kept losing the ones we had. I guess, graduation comes around and everybody wants a memory of the school. And all of a sudden you're looking for stuff and, somebody wanted a memory.
That's a nice little
Momentum.
I know, right?
See, so these are pressed open a little bit ahead of time. And now when you turn them, you see, these areas are all flat, so you don't have to worry about them. So now, the other point, though, is that when you use your pointer, you have a little bit different one, but it doesn't matter. I like my bamboo. This is a bamboo one. But you get the little plastic ones. Remember, they were in your...
Yeah.
Never jam in there. Never try to just... What you want to do is follow the seams. Follow the seams, see? Like come in from the direction of the seams and just keep working your way into the corner. And then just kind of keep working it until you come. You see, even with that tiny little bit that I left, it's still, and then what I do is I sort of squeeze the corner a little bit to make it more nice. See, did you see how little I left? Mm-hmm. And it's still there. Now, one thing I'm jealous of is that in the industry, I have no idea how they do it, but they have a way where these things are done by machine. They have a machine that does it, and it always comes out perfect. I have no idea how they do that, but it's... one of these days I should visit one of these factories, and a lot of these things that we do by hand, they have machines that are set up for it. It's a lot of things are automated. Okay. But be careful when you push in these corners. You gotta work it slowly. But see now, our top side is going to be the one with the interfacing, because when we do that decorative sewing, we want to have a nice full piece. So now, see, all I have to do is put it down, fold it on that half where we already pressed. See? See how nice that comes out?
Yes.
And all you have to do, you see, you think you make yourself more work, but actually you do less work by preparing. It ends up to be less work, not more work. Because you don't have to fix any tucks, you know, no pleats, because you already got it nice and flat. See? And in here you just have to kind of squeeze that a little bit. I try to work with it. Okay. So that's your color. See? Nice. Hmm?
Very nice.
Then now we're going to do the same thing for the cuff. Now we cannot really get into the curve all the way because this board doesn't have any curves, but there is a tailor board out. I have one at home that has different curves, big ones, little ones. It's got a section, you know, full of curves where you can line up on curves. These seams, because of the interfacing, they always want to stick together. But go as far as it lets you in here. You know, just give it a shot in here. Get a starter anyway. And it's harder to do where you have your little notches. But this part, you know, the little bit of curve you can work out with your pointer. It's a little tricky, you know, you have that small piece, small pieces. But you try to get that seam nice and flat. Now you might say, why not just press it to one side? It's not the same. It's not the same than when they open. Because when they open, you get it all. Oh, okay, I was gonna, almost forgot this part. Okay. Now we need two cuffs, remember guys? Now you're doing exactly what I told you not to do, Maria.
What?
To use the end of that
This
scissor.
one's not sharp enough.
I know, but be careful, no?
I'm being very careful.
Be very careful.
I have
Now,
extra glasses.
this one here, once you turn it, you want to make sure you kind of take your pointer and kind of follow keep following this curve so you can get it nice and out. So you can get a nice curve in here. Kind of stretch it a little bit. Okay, then again, the piece with the interfacing is going to be our top piece. And so we're going to line it up, make sure. See, it's already there. Because most of the work we already did, we already done it. Now the last part is that after you press it,